I am recording it today. Today is Sunday or Saturday? Wait, I need to check. So today is Sunday and I still didn't see the pictures that I take it with this camera on Sicily, because on Monday, tomorrow, I need to send it back to my friend, and you probably will see it in a few days. So then you will see photos before me. Let's talk today about this camera. This is Pentax 17 and we took it to Italy, to Sicily exactly. This camera was not provided by Pentax, I got it from my friend. Yeah, this is my honest opinion. First of all, this camera is brand new, so it's a little bit different than our normal film camera, because it's not like 25, 30, even more years old. As I told you, I didn't get it from the Pentax, so I don't have box, so I cannot tell you what's inside the box. What I've got is a lens cap, camera and a wrist strap, which I don't like. If you have other cameras with this wrist strap, sometimes there is some kind of plastic thing that blocks this on your hand, and for me this one is too long. If you take your hand down, it can easily fall. This is not good. Beside the strap, the camera is fairly well made. I think this is made of metal. You have nice on-off switch. You have buttons or dial buttons that you can rotate with satisfying click, but this knob, not button, this knob, I'm not a fan of it, because few times when I was taking the camera out of the pocket, it changes from auto to P or even sometimes to bokeh. So yeah, for me it's too easy to rotate. It should be more stiff. About rotating dial, you have one more here. This is compensation, and this one is not so freely turning, so I would prefer that this one have the same feel like this one. So you need to use more strength to turn from 0 to +1 or -1. Then you have here another button. This is for changing your ISO, so you need to press it with one hand and then change your ISO with other hand, from ISO 50 up to 3200. Other feature of this winding knob, if you pull it, then the camera will open and you can put your film here. As you can see, this is a half frame camera, but you probably know it. You have up to 72 shots. They are vertical in this position of the camera. Like this, you have vertical shot, and if you want to make horizontal shot, you use it like this. You have zone focusing on this camera, but I'm not 100% sure if this a zone focusing camera, because when you are on auto and you, for example, turn it to portrait 1.2 meters, so, and then you press the shutter button. I don't know if you can see, but I will try to show you. I need to put the camera to on. There is like auto-focusing engine because the lens is moving. Okay, if I can't show you like this, I will try to record another angle so you can see it. And even there is one more thing I will show you. If I turn this off and now put it near to mic, and where's mic? Here is mic, and turn it on, listen. Did you hear it? There is definitely an engine to move the lens and to autofocus, so I'm not 100% sure is this camera a zone focusing or is it just a rotating dial for fun, because still this lens is trying to achieve focus when you have pressed the shutter button. This is still very freely moving, and sometimes when it was in my pocket and it was like on the mountain set, so to set to infinity, and then when I take it out of my pocket, it rotate, for example, to food, make this shot with food, and then I see, okay, let's go to mountain and redo the shot. I will show you because I don't know right now. I need to develop the films. You probably know it right now because they are on the screen. So yeah, you will have the answer quicker than me. Is this turning not doing anything, or is it just for fun? Because we have autofocus. Theory from the future. Now I think that the steering wheel is just focus limiter. I don't work in Pentax, so this is just my theory. I load Pentax with Polish brand, has 65 200D film. Then we took a boat trip along the coast, starting from Kardini Naxos. This hotel that you see have a saltwater swimming pool. They pump the water from the sea. Here is a photo of our captain and his son, and photo of a beach with light leaks. We have this place to put the insert. Besides all of this, you on the camera have this here small window, so you can have your frame counter. You have a flash. I think it's from what I've seen. It's fairly powerful. You need to check it on the pictures. What else? There is winding button. You need to press it. As you can see, the film is hand-rolled and it is not standard length. That's why I have problem with pressing button to rewind the film. Frustrated camera woman sounds.
Dajesz, Marciniak, dajesz. Szybko.
One thing I like about this camera, maybe not one thing, but the most satisfying thing that I like about this camera, I will show you when you take a picture. Okay. Oh, so this is now showing me this blue and red. It's not wind, and the winding of this camera is the best thing of this camera. This is extremely satisfying. It's very short throw because it's only half frame. That's why maybe it's so satisfying, but still you just make photo, then wind, and make photo again, and one more time. I think if I would have this camera for me for all time, I can even just do this to unstress myself because it's very satisfying. And when you see, you cannot wind more because it's winded, but then it's probably, you can use it as a thumb grip, but still I use it like this, so I close it and yeah. Loading camera on the go. Here you can see auto repair.
Nie ruszy się.
Chodzi o to, że te naprawdę są tyle lekki, że możesz sama zrobić trygenem na zdjęciu, dlatego sobie liczę.
English.
This camera is so light that you can make a shutter drag with your hand when you press the shutter button, so that's why I count when shoot even the building. So yeah, that's it. Bye. About more features of this camera, then you have like tripod socket here, so you can put it on the tripod. There is battery compartment in the grip. You need to unscrew this screw. Yes, unscrew the screw, so you can get it to a battery compartment and change it. What else? You have, sorry, I put a finger in the viewfinder. You have like two sets of frame. One is probably for standard framing, and the smaller one is probably for taking a portrait picture or macro or food. I don't know it because, as I told you, I didn't have the box or instructions. So another old car and film camera, so you know what to do. I really like the look of this place. I take few shots from the beach. I like the look of that abandoned water park, and I needed to shoot it. Even using this camera was a little bit different for me because this lights here that when I don't wind the camera, wait, I need to make a photo, and now if you try to shoot it, it was like flashing red and blue, so this is that it's not winded. What I discover is like if you put it to the flash mode, this yellow part of this wheel, then you have this orange or red, maybe orange light, so it will flash. So yeah, if now I shoot, okay, it's not winded, so if now when I shoot, we have a flash. Now it's blinking because it's charging. When it's fully charged, then it should stop blinking. Yeah, now we can take another photo with a flash. I like that old tuk-tuks in Italy. Did you see that onion? One good thing about this camera is when you are in the flash mode, there is red, or let's call it red, but it's rather orange. But let's call it red light, and you are in this yellow P, and you go out of this yellow P to auto or to white P. There is no orange light, and the camera would not use the flash. Okay, I need to wind it, sorry. You see, there is no flash. This is a good thing because some of this type of cameras can still use a flash after you turn it off. For example, the first Kodak Ektar H35 camera, when you turn on the flash, then turn off the flash, it was still firing the flash. The newer one don't have this problem, and this camera also don't have this problem. You can put the flash on, put the flash off, and you won't flash on your photo. Then there is like a bokeh mode. This forces the camera to use shallow depth of field as it can, so we try to be as close to 3.5, depends on the light that it has to use. More tuk-tuk. I hope it's called tuk-tuk in Italy as well. Drzewa, pod słońce zrobimy zdjęcie. Here you can see some random shots that I don't have video footage, but still like them. I almost forgot, this camera don't have the DX code reader if you open it up. There is no pins here. It cannot read your DX code. This is a good and a bad thing. For me it's a bad thing because I managed to don't change the ISO by turning this wheel after changing film inside the camera. Probably few shots that I take would be heavily underexposed. But yes, you can use film without DX code and still use full features of this camera because you have manual ISO dial. To sum up, I wish they make this camera full autofocus or just full manual focus. The zone focusing is not good and the camera is still trying to focus or doing something weird which make it not as snappy as Kodak H35N, which is much cheaper. It is half frame, so from the beginning there is less quality than from normal cameras. Even this glass lens don't help it much. The camera is fairly well made and the flash is very powerful for such a small camera, and this is a plus for sure. My second wish is that this camera would not be a half frame, then the price would not be so hard to live with. Auto mode in this camera is in 95% good enough, so I would simplify the mode dial. For now, I will stay with Kodak H35N, but Pentax, if you watch it, make it at least a full frame camera. With rest, I can live. Or if you want still to make it half frame camera, just make this camera with full autofocus. Or just pick one of those and then your camera would be selling like new Deadpool film.